Throughout history, technology has constantly reshaped societies and contributed to shifts in geopolitical power balance. New technology can let the economy flourish. In certain instances, they can also ensure global influence and even a military edge. Today, we witness the rise of a new revolutionary technology, one that threatens the geopolitical chessboard. That technology, of course, is artificial intelligence. To a certain extent, AI has already invaded our daily lives. We use speech recognition systems like Alexa that understand what we say and answer our questions. At the airport, for example, face recognition systems are used to scan our passports. Arguably, the advent of AI is going to have at least as big of an impact on society as the invention of the steam engine during the Industrial Revolution. Countries are racing to develop the most advanced AI. That's because the technology can tip the balance of power in favor of the country with the most advanced artificial intelligence. However, I think this is a rigged race, one that liberal democracies may end up losing to autocracies because of what I call the AI democracy conundrum. The argument that I want to make is that the betterment of AI is easier to achieve in countries that exert an asphyxiating control over their citizens and disregard their rights. But how is this possible? First, we should understand how engineers build effective AI systems. Recent advancements in AI have been possible thanks to an algorithm called neural network. One can train a neural network to carry out a certain task by feeding sample data of that task to the network. For example, Alexa speech recognition is trained using massive datasets of people speaking. In AI lingo, we say that the neural network learns from data. There's no need for an engineer to teach Alexa how to recognize speech by coding rules. This would be very, very difficult to achieve. Rather, the algorithm figures out the rules of how to map speech signals to text by itself. Similarly to humans, a neural network learns from processing samples for a certain task. Unlike humans, who are really good at learning stuff with only a few examples, a neural network needs a lot of data to become proficient. Over time, there has been a tendency to train AI systems on ever larger datasets. Famous AI systems like GPT-3 for text processing or DALL-E 2 for image generation have been trained on billions and billions of data samples. The takeaway point here is that the more data you feed to a network, the more competent it will become at a given task. Here's the link between AI and another buzzword, big data. But how do we source data for our algorithms? Well, that depends on the task at hand. In the case of a language model like GPT-3, we can use all the text data we find on the internet. This data is a click away from most researchers. But for other tasks, data may be more difficult to acquire. For example, think of AI systems that try to predict our behavior. That's what social networks try to do when serving customized ads to which you may react positively. How do you train a model to predict what you like or may want to buy? You need behavioral data, like posts you shared and likes you gave. This type of data isn't easy to source unless you are a large network or social network like TikTok or Instagram. If you want to know more about this particular topic, I suggest you check out this video above here, where I talk about how Facebook uses your data to manipulate your behavior. Behavioral prediction is a concerning application of AI that can have both good and bad intent. Behavioral prediction algorithms like recommender systems can be used by companies like Netflix or Spotify to suggest TV series or music you may like. This is a mostly positive outcome. However, there's also a dark side. Nefarious actors can operate behavioral prediction algorithms, for example, to try to manipulate citizens during elections. Think of the Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal as an example. To shield citizens from the risk of AI-driven manipulation, several countries and cross-national institutions have taken action to protect users' data privacy. For example, the European Union has created GDPR, or General Data Protection Regulation. This European law provides stringent regulation for companies which want to store and process sensitive users' data. Among other things, the regulation dictates what data can be and cannot be used to develop algorithms. Remember, these data would be vital to train AI models that can predict behavior. By making it difficult for companies to process this data, the EU is indirectly slowing down development of advanced AI systems in certain fields. I'm not only talking about behavioral prediction here. GDPR has implications for other key industries like biotech and transports. Now, let's analyze the case of an autocratic regime like China. China not only disregards the privacy of its citizens, but it has actively built a centralized surveillance system that tracks citizens' actions. This provides the government with a flood of behavioral data that would be just impossible to get in a democratic country. Do you start to see the problem here, or as I call it, the AI democracy conundrum? The more respectful a country is of its citizens' privacy, the less sensitive data it will allow its companies to utilize. As we saw earlier, the less data you have, the lower the proficiency of your AI algorithms. By contrast, autocracies like China that systematically infringe on their citizens' privacy will amass huge amounts of data that will fuel rapid advancement of AI algorithms. In the long term, we run the risk that autocratic regimes may end up having more advanced AI systems than democratic countries which safeguard their citizens' privacy. Obviously, this chasm won't concern AI in its totality, but it's limited to the subset of applications involving personal data. Unfortunately, there are some critical verticals in this subset like biotech, politics, transports that may, in the long run, have an effect on the current geopolitical equilibrium. It seems to me that AI and democracy are at odds here. AI is data hungry. Liberal democracies have a moral imperative to limit access to personal data. From a data perspective, some of the values which define democracy at its core will inherently slow down AI development. I'd like to leave you with a key question. How do we guarantee that liberal democracies will win the AI race against autocracies while ensuring the rights of their citizens? I don't have an answer to this conundrum, so I'm really open to hear your comments on the topic. And if you want to learn more about the impact of new technologies on society, remember to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time. Cheers for now.